What's up, everyone, to the channel? So, this is part 4 of What If Deku was an Immortal Vampire. This will be the final part. My next series will be a Naruto What If, and I'm still thinking of what I could do. Please leave suggestions in the comment section so I could see what good what ifs I could do. So, we're just gonna get right into it. So Deku is sleeping, then he wakes up, and when he goes to school, Mirio is like, yo, you are third year right now, but you're gonna have to take a test while the first years to get some hero's license. And, Deku is like, okay. So Deku was like, okay, so we're gonna have to do some tests to get our hero's license. And Mirio was like, yeah, exactly. But you're gonna have to do it with the first years. He's like, that's no problem. I get to see all my old friends again. So when Deku goes home, he knows a date when the hero thing is gonna happen. So he decides to train every single day until the test. So he's just training nonstop. And he actually decides to leave his castle in London and go over to America to drink people's blood to become more stronger. Because he's not been drinking that many people's blood lately, so it's making him weak. So he's drinking a lot of people dry so he can become stronger. So he Stain hears that people are dying left and right in America, and he's like, fuck, I need to stop this guy. Then he sees Deku one day draining someone. He's like, Deku, what are you doing here? And then Deku said to Stain, I'm here to increase my power for the test. And Stain's like, oh, okay. You need to stop coming over in these parts because everyone's getting scared. And Deku was like, yeah, I understand. This was my last person before I went back to London. And Stain was like, alright, just make sure you clean up after. And then Deku was like, for sure. And so when Deku gets back, he's trained for about 3 weeks. Sorry, guys. Trained for about like 3 weeks. And he goes back to school, and everyone was like, yo, where you been? And Mr. Aizawa comes up to him and was like, Izuku Midori. So where have you been all this time? And Deku was like, I've been at my house training for the hero test. And fucking Aizawa was like, how do you know that was coming up? And he said, fucking Mirio told me. And so fucking Mr. Aizawa was like, okay, just don't ever take that long of a break without telling anyone. And Deku was like, yeah, okay. So Deku goes into the first year, and everyone's glad to see that he's back at Class 1A. And Mr. Aizawa is like, okay, everyone, in 2 days we'll be taking a test to get your hero's license. Everyone's super happy, and everyone's excited. Sorry, guys. So, fucking Deku goes back home to train for another day. Then he comes back to do all his schoolwork and stuff. And when the day finally comes, everyone's ready, everyone's pumped. And then fucking Todoroki and Bakugo's like, now I can finally show that kid what we're made of. So they're just chilling on the bus, thinking to themselves how they could show up Deku. Deku's just chilling. He's not like bothering anyone. He's just sitting by himself. And then Momo comes up, like, hey Deku, do you mind if I sit next to you? And Deku was like, no, I don't mind at all. So Momo is talking about her quirk and what she could do, and Deku's like, "That's a really good quirk. That may come in handy one day." Uh, so Deku's just thinking that to himself, and so no, and this part won't have any music in it because I'm pretty sure some people didn't like the music in the last part, so there won't be any music. But tell me if you want the music down below, or if you do or not want it. Anyways, so they're on their way to this place, and they get out the bus, and then that other rival school comes over to greet them, and that Deku lookalike comes over to meet Deku, and Deku's like, I don't trust this guy, and he gives him like a death stare, and the Deku lookalike was like, oh, okay, I won't go next to you. So that one Win guy, I don't know his name, he goes up to Deku and is like, it's very nice to meet you, and Deku was like, this guy's a really, loving heart, so I won't, give him death stare, and he says, really nice to meet you too. So they get acquainted, and he sees Todoroki, the Windman's, and he's just like mad at him. He dislikes Todoroki a lot, and Deku's wondering why. Anyways, so Miss Aizawa and his friend talk a second, and they go in, and Mr. Orca is just there telling them the rules, or not Mr. Orca, the other guy. Mr. Orca comes in one of the parts of this test. So he tells them, okay, there's tags on your body somewhere, and these balls, you throw them at the tags, and if it touches, that person is out. But you have to all three. Deku's like, oh, that's simple enough. He says that out loud, and the Propter was like, oh, is that so? And he was like, yeah. And so Deku he only needs one ball, so he only gets one ball. And everyone's getting ready, and when they say go, Deku tags everyone that is like, he tags everyone besides Windman, Todoroki, and Bakugo. And the Propters are like, what the fuck? This kid is insane. And that means Todoroki, Bakugo, and the Windmans have to take him out first before they go for each other. So all of them are using their quirks against Deku, but it's not phasing him at all. So Deku takes out the Windman real fast, then takes out Bakugo, and then it's just a one-on-one. And Todoroki gets 2 hits on Deku, and Deku's like, okay, I need to speed up a little. So then Deku just vanishes from Todoroki's eyes, and he touches 2 of Todoroki's tags, and then for the final one, he used too much strength, and he touched him and sent him flying into the wall. So basically, Deku won that round, for that entire section. And for the second section, saving people from Mr. Orca and his goons, Deku decides not to do anything because he's already going to pass. So he only saves about like half of the people, then leaves the other half for other people to get. He's just chilling. And he has like the most points in history of anyone that's ever taken this test. So the Propters are like, maybe we should just make him a hero right now with those type of skills. Probably be a pro hero already. And they're thinking that to themselves. And so Mr. Orca sees Deku just slacking off. He's like, oh, this one really likes pissing me off. So he goes over to Deku and is like, what are you doing? Why aren't you helping people? He's like, and Deku's like, I already saved half the people. I'm taking a little break. And Mr. Orca got mad. He was like, even if you saved half the people, you need to save everyone, no matter the cost. And Deku's like, yeah, whatever. And Mr. Orca gets mad and throws a punch at Deku, but he misses, and Deku kicks Orca into the sky, fucking 500 feet in the air, and it broke like his rib cage. And then he punches him to the ground, and he's like, "Ugh, fucking kid." Then he passes out, and Deku makes sure to treat him by giving him some of his blood, and everyone's like, "What the fuck? He just took out a pro hero. It's like number 10 in the entire world." And everyone's so surprised, like, "Whoa, this kid's very powerful." And other propters are like, "Whoa, okay, we need to make this kid a hero immediately. He's already way too overpowered to be hanging out with these students." So after all the exams, everyone passed with flying colors. They all got their license. But Deku did phenomenal. So he gets his license, and fucking All Might, Endeavor, all the top 15 heroes are there to welcome him to the hero world. They're like, "Izuku Midora, you are now a part of the hero community. You, as a hero, are expected to save everyone that you can." And everyone gives a round of applause for Deku and starts cheering his name. And Deku's like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's no sweat." So Deku, so everyone in this class is so surprised that he bumped up 2 grades and he just became a hero like that. And so all the top 5 heroes, Endeavor, All Might, and all the others, decide they want to test their power on him, one-on-one. And All Might was like, "I don't think that will happen. Let's all go for it, because I'm pretty sure he's stronger than me." And then everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" Then the other students don't know what he did during the practical exam, except for Ida. So he shows a video of him punching the robot and like making the entire fucking area from the robot and back turn to dust. And everyone's like, "What the fuck? This kid's overpowered. Why did he make him feel right then and there?" And All Might was like, "Because we needed to know if he was intelligent, not his brute strength." So, All Might, Endeavor, and all the other heroes, they get ready to fight Deku. And all the students from UA and the other school are about to watch this kid that was just in school battle fight the top 5 heroes in the entire world. So every single one of them goes, but before anyone can move, Deku Deku chops every single person's neck and just make them all get knocked out. So Deku won the fight in a instant, and everyone's like, "What the fuck just happened?" And then people were recording and got an instant replay in slow motion. They showed Deku. They showed Deku like with fangs and like red beating eyes and fucking super tall and muscular, just go right behind everyone and chop their neck, then come back super fast and then turn normal. And everyone's like, "Yo, what the fuck is this guy?" So then Deku uses his one ability to erase all memories. And he erases the last memories of everyone from the past like 2 minutes, and then all the heroes are like, "Okay, 3, 2," and then all of them start chasing him or going after him. But he doesn't chop all their necks right away. Because he might chop their heads off. So they all use their powers. Like they use like the strongest abilities on him, and they don't phase him. He's just sitting there taking it all. And then Deku's like, "Is it my turn now?" And then Endeavor goes for his most strongest attack, and it doesn't phase Deku, and Todoroki's like, this kid is the strongest after all. Deku just uses one punch, and you know that scene from One Punch Man when he punches at Genos but stops at the last moment and creates a giant hole in the mountainside? That's what happens. He punches, but not all the way. Creates a ginormous hole in the back of the stadium. And everyone's like, what the fuck? And some of the heroes are glad that they didn't get hit with that punch or they'll be dead. And so, he's not declared the number one hero just yet because he has no saves on his belt. He has nothing. He's just like the strongest hero, not the best hero. Because they don't know if he could save anyone. So, Deku, takes Momo. I'm sorry. I was gonna say Deku would turn Momo, but I just thought of it, and I don't like that. So, Deku is at home, and he's just chilling. Then he gets a message from Hero Killer Stain. Or now he's called Hero Stain. And he calls him and shows him a letter saying, yo, I just got a letter from my mayor saying I'm the best hero the city's ever had. And Deku's very proud of him, and Deku decides he will go to America to become a full-time hero for a few hundred years. And that's where our series ends. Deku becoming a hero in America. Hope you guys really enjoyed this series. I really enjoyed making this series because it's just Deku being the most overpowered fuck of all. So please leave comments about what Naruto what if I should do. It will be out tomorrow if y'all comment. And if no one comments on Naruto what if, then I'll just think of one and it might be out in 2 days. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Leave a comment and like, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.